This is why you should be watching anime and gaming with your kids. If this is your first time catching me live, I'm Cyber Frida. I'm an award-winning Forbes 30 Under 30 internet safety expert. So I have a background in cybersecurity awareness, threat intelligence, and then online gaming. I've been gaming since I was 13 years old. I've been watching anime since I was 12, 11. I kind of started watching anime like pretty late, to be honest. So anyways, yesterday I did a free webinar. If you want to join the webinar and you're watching this before January 31st, I had a free webinar on exactly how to protect your kids from predators on online gaming and social media. And one of the ways that we talked about in terms of protecting your kids from predators is the most overlooked way to protect your kids online, especially from predators, is to actually cultivate joy connected to the online world. So when you're cultivating joy, you're doing things that are enjoyable with your kids, or at the very least, listening to them when they talk about the things that interest them that has to do with the online world. So whether it is watching a YouTube channel, whether it's watching someone on TikTok, whether it's a gaming thing, whether it's something on Twitch, or it's just something as simple as like they like anime, they like cosplaying, they like whatever it is, engaging in that and having conversations that are joyful, and it's not like, it doesn't turn into a lesson. It doesn't turn into, well, don't do this or don't do that. I mean, of course, you have to remind your child every now and then, like, remember, don't do this, remember, don't do that. But you don't want every single conversation you have about the internet to be like, well, ugh, this is why I don't let you on Snapchat. Ugh, this is why I don't let you on Discord. Ugh, that's why I hate gaming. You should make sure you're not on Instagram so much. Like, you want to make sure that there are some conversations, enough conversations, where it's just normal and it's just relaxed and it's just like, wow, tell me more. Oh, I didn't know that. Tell me more about that. And so one of the ways that you can do that, we talked about in the webinar, is actually gaming with your kids. So if they really like Fortnite, they like Roblox, they like Call of Duty. If they're like older, they like Call of Duty. Though I had a parent say that her 5-year-old likes Call of Duty and her 5-year-old plays Call of Duty with her husband. And I was like, 5-year-olds on Call of Duty, it's typically a no, but because the son only plays Call of Duty with their father and only with their father present, it's like a way better scenario than your 5-year-old like picking up Call of Duty by themselves and playing it, because it's like, it's a little different, okay? So anyways, we talked about that in the webinar. If you want to join, just type webinar, I'll give it to you. It's for free, but the last day to join is January 31st. So anyways, the next thing we talked about is anime, like actually watching anime with your kids. If your kids is interested in anime, and if you're like, what the hell is that? Just imagine it being like, it's Japanese animation, right? It's not cartoons. Can't say it's cartoons. It's like, whatever. It's just animation. And I gave resources from Common Sense Media. So if you Google right now, anime, ANIME, Common Sense Media, there's a list of movies and TV shows that are basically, they're anime, and you can watch it with your kids. And I gave a list. So I think one of them was like Spirited Away. Someone in the chat said Naruto. They watched Naruto with their kids, which I was like, I love Naruto. I watched Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, whatever it is, however you pronounce it. It is absolutely amazing. Doing that gives you like huge brownie points with your kids and creates a point of connection. Because when it comes to protecting your kids online, what is important to your kid is important. And the more that you engage with what they love online, you become a safe space for them to speak to you about anything. And they don't fear that you're going to be like, ugh, what is this? What's going on? You don't have to enjoy it. You don't have to love it. Now, chances are you most likely will find an anime that you possibly could like. There are some that are like a lot more, there's nuanced storylines, there's a lot of lessons to be learned if you cannot commit to a full season. Like Naruto is really long. I didn't even mention One Piece, even though I love One Piece. It is way too long. And I'm like, I'm not doing that to you. So if you want to stick to like movies or something to watch really quickly, like once a month, you have like a family anime night. Instead of it like being a movie night, it's a family anime night, and you sit together and you talk about it. If your kid is super into it and you want to go to an anime convention, you can do that. I know a mom reached out to me and said that her daughter was obsessed with anime, and so she started watching anime with her. Some of them, she didn't like some of the shows. She was just like, okay, that's just your thing. I'm not watching that. But others, so she was like, you know what? This is actually pretty good. Like, I actually kind of like this. So I sent a list of like some of the best anime to watch with your kids, some reviews for you to know like what is in the show, are there any language, violence, that type of stuff. just so you know, is it aligned to your family? What is the age group? Is it appropriate for your child? The whole 9 yards was all inside of the presentation or the webinar that we did yesterday. And so those things are one of the most overlooked ways to protect your kids online, because we have this big focus, which I agree, my entire channel talks about the focus on the do's and the don'ts and what to tell your kids and conversation starters and all of the doom and gloom and crazy things that are happening online. And the first thought is like, oh my God, it's worry, it's confusion, it's shame, it's guilt. But there is an aspect of internet safety or protecting your child online that goes beyond all of that. And it helps you connect with your child so that your child understand that it is me and my parent or my caretaker against the world, and not always both of you against each other. Are there going to be moments where you have friction? Are there going to be moments that are really challenging or difficult, or they're pissing you off or you're pissing them off? Abso-freaking-lutely. Of course. That's the whole point of having those moments, whether you plan it, you don't plan it, whatever it is, where you're gaming with your kids and you're watching anime if your kids are into that, which a lot more kids are into it these days. I know, like, before it used to be like this really obscure thing and only a couple of kids were into it, and it was like the nerds and the geeks that were into anime. But I feel like anime has become like pretty popular now, so it doesn't have the same stigma. And I don't know, like, the world is changing, so most likely there's no stigma with it. And it would be really cool if your kids are interested in that, because the more that you lean into what they're interested in, the more you become their safe space. Because, and another thing we talked about yesterday is the normalness of teens, adolescents speaking to strangers online. We have this thought process of, oh my God, teens should never speak to strangers online. Teens shouldn't be meeting other people online. They shouldn't be meeting people on social media. They shouldn't be meeting people on games. And while I am 1,000% understanding of that mindset, and if your child is not a teen and they're super, super young, I'm 1,000% what they call 10 toes down on making sure that you're having parental controls and making that not available, like disabling the chat altogether. Don't even deal with it, okay? Just disable it. I'm 100% on that. However, as your teen gets older, it's really important for them to understand healthy and unhealthy interactions online, both with strangers and people that they're supposedly know. So the webinar went into a bunch of other things in terms of exactly what to tell your kids around why you shouldn't talk to strangers online. It's a whole 9 yards. This is a limited time webinar. I did it for a very short period. It's going away. Well, January 31st is the last day to register for. So if you want the webinar, type webinar below. I'll send it to you. I will be doing free webinars, either free webinars or free challenges every single month. So I think next month, the focus will be, I have to make that decision by Sunday, to be honest, because February is coming up next week, but we'll be talking about Roblox and Roblox safety, which we also talked about Roblox in the webinar. The point is that if you want to protect your kids online, we have to have many different avenues of doing that. We cannot just focus on parental controls and parental monitoring and having open conversations with your kids, which is very, very important. Another note with open conversations is when you are gaming with your kids, when you are watching anime with your kids, and you're having that time with them. And let's just say, because I had one parent in the comments say like, hey, like, I really hate gaming. Like, I hate it. It's like nails on the chalkboard. It's like, I hate every second of it. If you are like, hey, Cynthia, I'll send you the link after this live, I'll send you the link. If you're like, I hate this so much, you can just listen to your kid. So let's just say your kid plays Roblox and you're like, I can't play Roblox with them, I don't understand, or a game gives you motion sickness. I have motion sickness. It's hard for me to play some games. Even though I'm a huge gamer, been gaming since I was 13, I can't do it. If you can't do it, you don't have time, energy, space, whatever, all you have to do is listen to your child when they're telling you about Roblox. No matter how much it does not make sense, no matter how much you're like, I don't get it, what is going on, I don't understand, I'm tired, like, can you shut up, like, I need a nap. Just in that moment, remember, what's important to my child is important, and be in that moment. If you cannot be in that moment, just say, hey, can you talk to me after dinner? Or you can talk to me after your homework, or let's chat when we're doing this or that. Just put them off to a different time where you actually can speak to them. So you don't always have to be like in the moment speaking to them. You have a life, things happen, it's fine, I get it. But have a moment where you are able to speak to them. And then if possible, watch them play the game, not like in a stinky way, like, oh, let me watch you play the game, but more like, hey, like, show me that. What is that? What's Roblox? Robux? Why do you need a skin? What does the skin mean? What is a quest? Why are you doing a dungeon run? What is a guild? What is a clan? You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. I can't wait to share with you the webinar. I don't have the link saved, Cynthia, but I will reply to your comment. I'll give you the link. And if you go to my profile, there should be a link as well on the webinar. Remember, the last day to register is January 31st. The webinar happened yesterday, but the replay is still up. And you can watch it whenever you have until February 10th to watch it, so long as you register by the 31st. So it was very, very exciting. We had over 670 parents who registered. I'm so excited to be doing this every single month. So I appreciate you for being here. But one of the main ways that I realized that a lot of us don't realize when it comes to protecting kids online is that it's the little tiny things that matter. It's less about you understanding gaming or understanding social media. Is less about you knowing more than your kids. It's less about you having the best parental control app. It's less about you knowing every single thing that your child is doing online. And it's more about your child feeling 1000% that my parent, my mom, my dad, my grandparent, my caretaker has my backs no matter what. Because what's going to happen is as they're online, they will, as they grow older, they will talk to strangers and they will meet other people and they will have conversations. And you never want them in those conversations to feel like the person that I'm talking to online right now cares about me more than my parents care about me. And that sounds crazy because you're the one who's giving them a roof over their head. You're feeding them, you're clothing them, you're listening to their problems, you're solving everything. You are everything to them. How can they ever feel like some random person online loves them more or cares about them more than you do? How? The answer is that person listens to them without judgment. That person spends time with them with the things that they love. They play Roblox together. They have a Spotify shared playlist. They share songs together. They're on Discord channel and they're chatting, and the person understands the feelings that they're having. They get why they hate their substitute teacher. They understand why they're upset with their principal. They get why they hate X, Y, and Z. That person does not judge them, even if they disagree with their point of view. They're like, you know what? Like, I get it, girl. I get it, dude. Whatever, etc., etc. And they're chill. They're cool, they're calm, they're collected, they're understanding. That is why that person that your child is talking to online, and yes, this is including your child, it's very rare for a child to not have this type of experience. And this was my experience as a golden child, as a perfect child, so to speak. This was my experience. I was sneaky, I did things that I wanted to do online. It happens, it's very, very normal. Never feel like you're a bad parent, never feel shame or guilt because you found out that your child is talking to somebody online. So in the webinar, we go through steps on what to do in terms of protecting your child from strangers and predators online. It's a whole 9 yards. Like, highly recommend you join the webinar. So if you're here, type webinar in the comments below, and I will send you the link after we conclude this in about like 2 minutes or so. I'm going to go and post something on Instagram because I need to post on Instagram. But anyways, we talked a lot about that inside of the webinar so that you know how to approach these conversations and why I always say to never tell your kids not to talk to strangers online. So the more that you're able to connect with your child through the things that they love, so it's anime, it's gaming, it's social media, it's TikTok dances, it's Spotify, it's the new Stanley Cup, whatever it is, we're mostly focused online, the better. The more you understand what they understand, you don't have to understand tech. You don't have to understand everything about gaming and social media. You just have to understand what they love. That is it. If your child is obsessed with anime, you don't need to be obsessed with anime, but you can watch something with them. So the list that I sent in the webinar on the exact things that you can do to connect with your child who likes anime or whatever it is, that is what you do. You just focus on that. They love Naruto, then you can watch a couple episodes with them, even if you're watching in the middle of the season. You're like, oh, that's real interesting. What happened there? Who's that? Who's that person with the scar? Why does that person use sand? Where's that person from? Like, just engage. And even if you don't care, you might be cooking dinner and then you look at the screen and you're like, oh, what happened there? Why did he say that? Why is that person angry with that person? Just engage so that they can feel like, oh, like, you know, that's interesting. They're engaging with the things that I like. And that is all that is required. You do not need to be a tech savvy person. You don't need to understand the new upcoming trends. That is where I come in. My background, again, I have a background in cybersecurity awareness and threat intelligence and online gaming. My main thing is helping you protect your kids online. It is my job to know what's new, and it's my job to give it to you in a way that's simple, easy, and actionable to understand and to protect your kids online. You do not have to be on top of everything. The only thing you have to be on top of is two things: your self-care, your self-love, your healing journey, and your kids, and loving them and raising them to be the best human beings they can be. That is it. Those are your two focuses. If you have other focuses, like you're growing a business that you absolutely love to service the people that you've always wanted to service, if you have a career that you absolutely love and working with a team that is phenomenal and doing great things, or you have whatever it is that you're doing, those are your other focuses, that's amazing and that's great. But when it comes to protecting your kids online, those are your two focuses. Not tech, not the new thing, not the new game, unless your kid is obsessed with it. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. My entire channel on YouTube is helping you protect your kids online. I also post a lot on Instagram. Instagram is my main channel. I post a lot on Instagram. I have a Facebook group. It's called Child Online Safety Movement. Yeah, Child Online Safety Movement. And then I have my Instagram channel, which is Cyber Farida, same as YouTube. And then I have a bunch of YouTube videos on protecting your kids on games, on social media. I have a YouTube video on protecting your kids on Discord. If you have kids on gaming, most likely they're on Discord. I mean, Discord, a lot of kids are using Discord nowadays. It's not just gaming kids, but still check out the video. It breaks down what is Discord. It's a text, video, and voice chatting app. It's been out since 2015. I've been using Discord since 2015 for gaming. I love gaming. I'm about to go game later tonight after I finish all my work for today. And so remember, the best way to protect your child is to make sure your child knows that you are on their side, no matter what. No matter how angry you are, no matter how pissed off you are, worried you are, scared you are, concerned you are on their side. And the way that you can show that is to remind them that whatever they find important, whether it is Mr. Beast, whether it's Roblox, whether it's Taylor Swift's new video, whether it is whatever it is, Minecraft, a Minecraft streamer, whatever it is, if it's important to them, it's important to you, no matter how much it pisses you off or you don't care about it or you have no energy for it, it doesn't matter. You care about them, so you care somewhat about it, and that is it. That's all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Until next time, if you typed a webinar in the chat, you'll be getting the link from me to join the webinar. Again, the last day to join in is January 31st. If you're watching this after January 31st, 2024, then most likely I'll be doing something free every single month. So just check out the link inside of my bio, and there's my free resource library. I am planning on doing free webinars almost every month, free challenges, a bunch of other things. So join in, invite your friends, and message me on Instagram for any questions. Bye.